We're getting a question here from Rock and Rant asking, what's the story with Texas Tech? You guys hearing anything shady beyond just having more money to spend this time? A lot of rumors out there. Look, we've done a couple of videos here on Texas Tech, and we've talked about them pretty in depth here on Group Chat Football Live. I think there's a couple things in play. One, from everything that I've heard, Texas Tech is a school that's had money, right? You may not hear about them having been a team that quote unquote's been throwing it around, but they've had money, right? I think with this NIL era, I think every year you're going to see another program or two that just pop up out of nowhere, right? And it's not that some of these schools don't have money to spend, but I think it's figuring out how the NIL era works, how you win in this era. And again, they've been very aggressive. Half of it is just like, how aggressive do you want to be in going and getting guys from the portal? Everyone has a certain amount of money to spend. Now, are you going to put a lot of that towards the high school class, or are you going to put more of that, your resources, into the portal? And I think the way that Texas Tech is looking at it is, look, we've just had an 8-win season, one of the best years we've had in a while. We got to go all in now and capitalize on it. And then we can kind of look at the strategy again next year, but let's get aggressive now. And that's the sense I've gotten. D, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that.
Yeah, this is a big school with a lot of resources. You have the Matador NIL, which has been doing very, very well. They got a shout out from Coach Aguirre during this process. Then Canes Cat Heat, which I've heard the same. They were the first ones, or one of the first ones, to get an NFL type scouting department. There was articles written about Texas Tech scouting department well before this wave of portal activity. So they've been working towards this, and they're just executing. They're bringing in a lot of Texas kids. So that's one part. There's a lot of guys coming home from Texas. And then they're bringing some guys in from the Southeast that they're just making aggressive pushes for, like a Lee Hunter. So they're doing a tremendous job. They got a veteran quarterback. And I think when you look at their transfer portal moves, they are poised to be the top team in the Big 12 next year, assuming everybody stays healthy and everything comes together the way it should. But excited about Texas Tech. We'll be monitoring them all season.
Yeah, and just to touch on what Canes Cats Heat 305 said real quick, when he says that they got an NFL scouting department, what that essentially means is when you talk about the NFL, every team has scouts who not only are scouting the college level, but they're scouting the teams in the NFL, because if a guy gets cut or is on the trade market or something like that, you've got to be able to say, well, we already have a report on this guy. We know who he is. Same thing with the transfer portal. When you have a department that's scouting college football as a whole, division by division, conference by conference, usually it's split up by conference, and you pretty much have an idea of everyone's roster before a guy hits the portal. When we talk about being aggressive, half of it's being organized, right? There's so many guys that enter the portal. You have to be aggressive towards who you want. And if you already have that information and know who you want, that you're so ahead of the game, and you're not behind the 8 ball there. So that I agree 100% with what he said.
And you got Canes Cats giving the juice on Texas Tech, saying Cody Campbell, CEO of Double Eagle Energy Holdings, they're at the head of the collective.